Russian natural gas to flow through these pipes soon.
Let's talk more about this with Thomas O'Donnell. He's an energy and international affairs analyst and a lecturer at Hertie School of Governments here in Berlin. Welcome to DW, Thomas. People in Lubmin believe Russian gas will arrive there soon. Russia's state energy giant Gazprom, who's behind Nord Stream 2, believes so as well. Do you too?
I think it's unlikely. Let me just make clear, because there's a number of things that were said by the local citizens. I understand their perspective. This is clearly geopolitical. 80% of the gas Russia sends to Europe goes through Ukraine today. It has gone through Ukraine, and this was critical for Mr. Putin for his market. However, he made the mistake of invading Ukraine, and now he's got a problem. He can't pursue what he wants to do in Ukraine to subvert the country as long as the gas goes through there. He'll interrupt his own business. So he's decided to build these pipelines, and the German government, for its own reasons, does not want to accept the security risk, as they put it, of the gas coming through Ukraine. So they're throwing Ukraine under the bus to do this project together with Putin. Now, the Americans look at it purely, really geopolitically. This is not about American LNG. The opposition started to this before there was American LNG to export, okay? And so they're trying to stop it with very targeted sanctions. These sanctions should be quite effective normally, but what I see is happening is after the certification company leaves, the reputable insurance company, Zurich Insurance, leaves, and the next thing is German companies will be sanctioned at some point. What's happening is the Russians are using postbox companies, shady companies, and for whatever reason, the Danish and German Agentur, the agencies that regulate this, are allowing them to do so. Okay, so it depends on that. This is going to escalate. The Americans have asked for negotiations over this, but the German side has been stalling. The Americans said, "Why don't we have a moratorium? We don't want to sanction our allies. Why don't we talk about this?" But the German side is stalling.
Thomas, the EU is a player in there as well. Is it a good idea to use Nord Stream 2 as leverage to put pressure on Russia over the treatment of Alexei Navalny?
If you go along with what I said in the beginning, that Putin only wants to move this pipeline out of Belarus and Russia and Ukraine, you know what his relationship with those two countries are right now. He wants to move it out and have it go through Germany. Germany is doing a service. The German leadership, not the German people, but is doing a service to Mr. Putin so he can continue his malign activity to incorporate those countries, like the Soviet Union did. So yes, blocking the pipeline blocks his geostrategic plans for energy for Europe. And you'll notice the European Parliament voted by 580 to about 50-something against this pipeline. So these are not just American sanctions, American opposition. Overwhelmingly, the Parliament, if we had a different kind of EU, the Parliament would decide this, but that's not how things are decided at this present moment.
And Thomas, briefly, if you could, regarding energy supply, as you said, how much does Europe need this pipeline?
It needs the Russian gas. There's a distinction. 40% of the gas that Europe uses roughly comes from Russia. It will take a long time to get away from this geostrategic dependence. We could discuss that sometime. The question is, will it continue to come through the pipelines that already exist, that are huge, could be, more could be sent through Ukraine and Belarus and Poland as well, or will it all be transferred into these pipelines directly to Germany? Germany will become the hub for distribution of this Russian gas in Europe, will become, the sub player from Moscow. Okay, and this is the question. It's how you receive it, through which place. When Ukraine doesn't have that transit, what do you think more Mr. Putin might do against Ukraine? Why does he want it out of there so badly? He's afraid the pipeline will get blown up if he continues his war there.
Thomas O'Donnell,
this restrains him.
Energy and International Affairs Analyst, lecturer at Hertie School of Governments in Berlin. Thank you for your thoughts.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
And now to some of the other global business stories making headlines. Bitcoin is closing in on its next big number, trading at over $49,000 on Friday. This peak comes as companies like BNY Mellon